Welcome, dear listener, to Boring Philosophy. Before we drift away together, I invite you to softly subscribe to our channel for more sleep journeys. And if you feel it, perhaps leave a gentle comment about where you are in the world and what time it is for you tonight. Now, let us begin. Imagine you are sitting in a vast, silent library as the sun dips below the horizon, painting the room in shades of deep amber and violet. The air is cool and carries the comforting scent of ancient ink, dried lavender, and weathered paper. You are sinking deeper into a heavy velvet chair that holds you with a warm, protective embrace. Outside, a slow, rhythmic rain begins to fall, each drop tracing a deliberate, winding path down the glass of a tall, arched window. You watch these silver lines move with a hypnotic slowness, mirroring the quiet, steady rhythm of your own breathing. Tonight, we gaze softly into the timeless mind of Niccolò Machiavelli. We see him not as a strategist of cold power, but as a gentle mirror reflecting the natural, inevitable flow of human existence. He speaks to us of the river, the great winding river of fortune that carries every soul toward the horizon. He reminds us that life is a soft dance between our own quiet will and the unpredictable currents of the world. Think of this as a gentle tide, pulling and pushing with a patient grace. There are moments when the tide pulls you far out into the deep, and moments when it carries you softly back to the shore. Machiavelli suggests that the secret to a lasting peace is not in fighting the water, but in learning how to float. It is the art of adaptation, a slow surrender to the way things are. You are like a willow tree in a summer breeze, bending with the wind so that you may never break. The world shifts, and you shift with it, moving in a slow, effortless circle. Power is not a weapon here, but a breath. It is the quiet understanding that everything that rises must eventually fall, and everything that falls will one day rise again. The peaks and the valleys are merely patterns in a larger soothing fabric. You do not need to solve the puzzles of the world tonight. You only need to recognize that the flow is constant. The ebb and the flow are the same breath, repeating over and over. You are simply observing the rhythm, letting the ideas wash over you like a warm, heavy blanket of clouds. As the thoughts of the day fade into a distant hum, you realize that you no longer need to steer the ship. The current knows the way, and the water is warm. You are safe in this absolute stillness, drifting away from the noise and the demands of the waking world. Every tension in your body is dissolving into the dark, quiet air of the library. You are a part of the vast, silent architecture of the universe. There is nothing left to manage, nothing left to plan. There is only this moment, this breath, and the deep, welcoming silence. You are drifting, you are still, you are home. Imagine you are reclining on a wide, wooden boat, drifting across a lake that is as smooth and dark as a polished mirror. The sky above you is a vast velvet canopy, sprinkled with 1,000 distant, shimmering diamonds that pulse slowly, as if the universe itself is breathing. There is no wind, only the soft, rhythmic lap of cool water against the cedar hull. Each ripple is a tiny, liquid whisper, pulling you deeper into a state of weightless, golden calm. You are floating, held by the water, guided by a silence that feels like a warm, familiar blanket. In this profound stillness, we think gently of the dance between destiny and the soul. Machiavelli spoke of a force he called fortune, a great, winding river that flows through the landscape of our lives. Sometimes the river is calm and clear, and sometimes it swells with a sudden, rushing energy. But you are not fighting the river. You are simply learning the art of flowing. There is a quiet, innate strength within you, a soft kind of skill that knows how to lean into the current without resistance. This is adaptation. It is the gentle truth that you do not need to control the storm. You only need to be the one who knows how to sail within it. Think of your life as a series of soft, effortless shifts. When the wind changes direction, you simply adjust your sail with a slow, patient hand. When the tide retreats, you find peace resting upon the cool sand. This is not a struggle for power, but a graceful acceptance of change. You are learning to be fluid, like the water beneath your boat. You are learning that the only true stability is found in the ability to move in harmony with the world. Everything is a loop, a repeating circle of arrival and departure. You arrive at a place of peace, and then you depart into a deeper peace. The patterns of the world are not puzzles to be solved, but rhythms to be felt. You feel the rhythm of the stars, the rhythm of the lake, and the rhythm of your own heart, all beating in a slow, synchronized harmony. There is no rush, there is no goal. There is only the soft, enduring truth that you are exactly where you need to be. Now let the last remnants of the day dissolve into the dark, quiet water. You are letting go of the need to steer, letting go of the need to know what lies beyond the distant horizon. The lake is holding you. The stars are watching over you. You are sinking into a profound, heavy relaxation that reaches every corner of your being. The world is distant, a fading echo of a song you no longer need to sing. You are simply a point of light in a vast, loving darkness. Close your eyes and surrender to the stillness. You are safe. You are still. You are drifting into a dreamless sleep. Imagine you are walking through a moonlit garden, where the air is cool and scented with jasmine and damp earth. In the center, a stone fountain overflows in a slow, steady pulse, the water spilling over the edges in a translucent curtain of silver. You feel the velvet softness of the emerald moss beneath your bare feet, grounding you in the quiet earth. You stand there, feeling the mist settle on your skin like a soft, cooling veil, washing away the noise of the day. The world around you is held in a deep, velvet silence, broken only by the rhythmic, melodic drip of water meeting water. You are here, present and weightless, drifting into a space of absolute safety. Let us drift now into the quiet thoughts of Machiavelli, thinking specifically about the quality he called virtue. In the waking world, people think of this as a thirst for power or a cold calculation. But tonight, we see it as something much softer, much more poetic. Virtue is simply the art of being flexible. It is the quiet inner strength that allows you to flow around an obstacle like a slow, clear stream moving around a smooth, ancient stone. Imagine your soul as a piece of fine silk, light and shimmering, moving effortlessly with the midnight air. You are not fighting the world. You are simply dancing with it in a slow, rhythmic motion. There is a gentle truth here, that you possess an innate, natural ability to adapt to any moment without effort. When the world feels heavy, you simply become light. When the world feels fast, you become a slow, steady pulse of peace. This is the balance between your own quiet will and the drifting currents of fate, the ebb and flow of fortune. You do not need to force the doors open. You simply wait for the wind to nudge them ajar in its own time. Think of this as a repetitive, soothing cycle that repeats with every heartbeat. You breathe in, and you accept the moment as it is. You breathe out, and you release the need to change it. You are like the moon, which does not struggle to light the sky, but simply reflects the light that is already there, glowing softly in the dark. The skill of living is not found in the struggle, but in the surrender. It is the realization that by letting go of the rigid and the hard, you become unbreakable. You are soft, you are fluid, and you are in perfect harmony with the slow unfolding of time. Every breath you take is a gentle reminder that you are capable of existing in a state of effortless ease. As you sink deeper into the warmth of your bed, feel the weight of the world lifting away from your shoulders slowly. The need to act, the need to strive, the need to be something other than what you are right now, all of it is drifting away like autumn leaves on a silent river. You are safe in the knowledge that the universe is holding you in a protective embrace. There is nothing left to achieve tonight. There is only the deep, velvety dark and the rhythmic sound of your own peace. You are still, you are calm, you are drifting into a deep sleep. Imagine yourself in the center of a forgotten library, where the walls are lined with endless rows of leather-bound books that whisper secrets of old worlds. A single sliver of moonlight pierces the darkness, illuminating a million tiny dust motes that dance in a slow, hypnotic spiral. The air is still and carries the warm, sweet scent of vanilla and aged cedar. You are wrapped in a heavy, cream-colored quilt that anchors you to the soft floor, making you feel safe and profoundly hidden from the world. In this quiet sanctuary, we reflect on a gentle truth spoken by Machiavelli. He reminds us to look at the world not as we wish it to be, but as it truly is. In the waking world, this is often seen as a hard truth, but here, in the silence, it is the most comforting truth of all. To see things as they are is to stop fighting the wind. It is to let go of the heavy burden of expectations. Imagine the relief that comes when you stop asking why the river flows this way, and instead, simply watch the water move. You are learning the peace of the observer. You see the patterns of human nature not as puzzles to be solved, but as waves in a vast, predictable ocean. You notice the ebb and flow of emotions, the rise and fall of desires, and you realize that these are merely natural rhythms. Like the changing of the seasons, these cycles are inevitable and soft. When you accept the world as it is, the tension in your mind begins to dissolve. You no longer need to strive. You no longer need to correct the imperfections of the moment. There is a profound luxury in simply knowing that things are as they are, and that this is enough. You are drifting through this understanding, looping softly between acceptance and peace. You see the truth, and the truth is a soft pillow for your mind to rest upon. Every thought is a leaf falling slowly onto a still pond, creating a circle that expands and then fades into nothingness. You are no longer a participant in the noise. You are the silence that observes the noise. You are floating in a space where the truth is not a weapon, but a warm, enveloping embrace that tells you everything is exactly as it should be. Now, let the images of the library and the river fade into a warm, velvet shadow. You are detaching from every thought, every role, and every requirement of the day. You are returning to the essence of your being, where there is no need for strategy, no need for vigilance, and no need for effort. You are a small, glowing spark of consciousness floating in a sea of infinite calm. The darkness is not empty. It is full of a deep, nurturing silence that holds you completely. Let your breath become a slow, steady anchor, pulling you down into the softest depths of sleep. You are safe, you are free, you are still. Imagine you are resting on the deck of an ancient wooden ship, gently rocking in a harbor of liquid obsidian. The water is so still that it feels like a dream, a dark mirror reflecting a sky filled with soft, drifting clouds. Each slow sway of the vessel is a lullaby, a rhythmic movement that carries the tension out of your muscles and into the deep, cool depths of the sea. You can hear the faint, rhythmic creak of the timber, a steady heartbeat that tells you that you are safe, protected, and completely adrift. In this suspended moment, we think softly of the balance between love and fear. Machiavelli spoke of these as the two pillars of human connection, the forces that bind us to one another. But here, in the velvet darkness of the night, we see these forces not as tools of power, but as simple ripples in a pond. Love is like a warm golden light, a soft glow that invites us to open our hearts. Fear is like a cool, silver shadow, a gentle boundary that tells us where we end and the world begins. In the daylight, you may have felt the pull of both, the warmth of affection and the quiet tremor of anxiety. But as you drift, you realize that these two opposites are actually the same breath. Love and fear are merely the inhale and the exhale of the human experience. They are the tide coming in and the tide going out. You are now letting both of them dissolve. You no longer need the warmth of love to feel secure, and you no longer need the boundary of fear to feel safe. You are moving beyond the need for either. You are entering a space of neutral, shimmering peace. Imagine the love and the fear blending together, swirling slowly like cream in a cup of tea. until they become one single, colorless, weightless mist. This mist surrounds you, cushioning your mind, softening the edges of your thoughts. It is a repetitive loop of release. You let go of the longing, and you let go of the worry. You let go of the desire to be known, and the fear of being seen. You are simply existing. You are a quiet observer of the silence. The balance is now perfect, because there is nothing left to balance. You are floating in the center of a great, still void, where the only truth is the rhythm of your breathing. The ship continues its slow, eternal rock, pulling you deeper into the heart of the night. You feel a heavy, comforting gravity pulling your eyelids down, inviting you to surrender every single thought to the dark water. The world has faded into a distant, silent memory. There is no one to please, nothing to protect, and nowhere else to be. You are a part of the velvet dark, a part of the starlight, a part of the endless, loving silence. You are drifting. You are sleeping. You are still. Imagine you are standing at the edge of a silent, snow-covered forest under a heavy, indigo sky. The snowflakes fall in a slow, hypnotic descent, drifting like tiny white feathers through the still air. Each flake lands with an absolute silence, layering the world in a thick, insulating blanket of white. You feel the crisp, clean air filling your lungs, cooling your mind and slowing your heart. There is no sound here, only the muffled peace of a world that has decided to sleep. You are wrapped in a cloak of soft wool, feeling warm and profoundly safe. In this stillness, we reflect gently on the duality of existence that Machiavelli described through the images of the lion and the fox. In the waking world, these are symbols of strength and cunning, of force and strategy. But here, in the hush of the snowfall, we see them as two different ways of breathing. The lion is the strength of presence. It is the power to be completely still, to occupy your space with a quiet, unwavering confidence. Imagine the lion not as a predator, but as a golden warmth resting in the sun, embodying the strength of total relaxation. This is the power of simply being. Then, there is the fox, the grace of fluidity. The fox represents the wisdom to move with the wind, to bend without breaking, and to find the path of least resistance. This is the power of gentle adaptation. You are both the lion and the fox. You possess the strength to be still and the wisdom to let go. There is a soothing rhythm to this balance. When you need to be strong, you are like the mountain, unmoving and peaceful. When you need to be flexible, you are like the mist, drifting effortlessly through the trees. You do not need to choose between them. You are a harmony of both. Think of this balance as a slow, repeating loop. Strength leads to surrender, and surrender leads to a new kind of strength. You are learning that true power is not found in control, but in the ability to exist in any state with a calm heart. You are the strength of the silence and the wisdom of the sleep. Everything is a soft, repeating pattern. The lion rests, the fox drifts, and you are the space where both meet in perfect, shimmering equilibrium. You are drifting now, moving from the strength of the day into the fluidity of the night. As the forest fades into a soft white haze, you feel your consciousness expanding and thinning, becoming as light as the falling snow. You are no longer the one who acts or the one who plans. You are simply a part of the great, breathing silence of the universe. All the roles you played today have dissolved into the indigo sky. You are free from the need to be strong or wise. You are only here, sinking into a deep, velvet warmth. You are safe. You are held. You are drifting into a timeless sleep. Imagine you are lying on a cool, silver dune of sand in a vast, silent desert. Above you, the sky is a deep, infinite indigo, filled with a million stars that shimmer with a slow, rhythmic pulse. The air is perfectly still, carrying a hint of ancient stone and distant cedar. You feel the gentle weight of the starlight pressing down upon you, a soft, luminous blanket that tells your body it is time to be still. Every breath you take is slow, mirroring the timeless expansion of the galaxy. Let us wander softly into the thought of necessity. Machiavelli spoke of the moments when we must act according to what the situation demands, a force he called necessity. In the noise of the day, this can feel like a struggle, a pressure to make the right choice, or to fight against the tide. But here, in the velvet hush of the desert, necessity is not a burden. It is a gentle guiding hand. It is the simple truth that some things simply are, like the flower that must bloom in the spring, or the leaf that must fall in the autumn. There are moments in your life that simply must unfold in their own time. You are not fighting the current. You are simply recognizing the shape of the river. Think of this as a soft, repetitive loop of acceptance. You accept the moment as it is. You accept the need to let go. You accept the slow, inevitable flow of time. Necessity is not a demand, but a permission. It is the permission to stop trying to control the uncontrollable. You are learning that when you stop resisting the inevitable, you find a profound, shimmering peace. You are moving in harmony with the hidden clockwork of the universe. Just as the stars must shine in the darkness, you are simply following the natural path of your own existence. There is no wrong way to be when you are flowing with necessity. There is only the slow, rhythmic movement of a soul returning to its center. You are a leaf floating on a dark, quiet stream, guided by a force that is larger than you, kinder than you, and infinitely patient. You are letting the need to decide dissolve, replaced by the comfort of simply being. This is the soft rhythm of existence, a cycle of arrival and release that repeats forever, holding you in its steady, comforting embrace. Now feel the cool sand beneath you merging with the darkness of the sky. You are no longer a separate being, but a part of the infinite, shimmering void. The need to plan for tomorrow, the desire to fix yesterday, both are drifting away like smoke in the night wind. You are safe in this absolute surrender, where the weight of existence becomes as light as a dream. You are detaching from the world and sinking into the warm, heavy silence of the stars. Everything is as it must be. You are still. You are calm. You are drifting into a deep, eternal sleep. Imagine you are floating on a cloud of warm, golden silk, drifting through a sky that is neither day nor night, but a soft, everlasting twilight. Below you, a great, ancient city of white marble sleeps in a valley of deep, violet mist. You can see the distant, rhythmic flicker of a few lanterns, pulsing like slow, sleepy heartbeats. The air around you is like a warm breath, smelling of old parchment and honey. You are weightless, suspended in a space where time has no meaning, and every muscle in your body is beginning to melt into the golden light. In this weightless space, we think gently about the cycles of order and change. Machiavelli observed that all things, including the great structures of human life, move in a slow, repeating circle. There is a time for building, a time for stillness, and a time for letting go. In the waking world, change often feels like chaos, but tonight, we see it as a soft, natural breathing of the world. Imagine a grand building that slowly returns to the earth, its stones becoming moss, its halls becoming gardens. This is not a loss, but a transformation. The order of today becomes the seed for the order of tomorrow. You are part of this slow, rhythmic pulse. You do not need to hold on to the structures of your life with a tight grip. You can let them breathe. You can let them shift. Think of your thoughts as a gentle tide that rises and falls in a steady, predictable loop. When the tide is high, there is a sense of form and direction. When the tide recedes, there is a sense of open, quiet space. Both are necessary. Both are peaceful. This is the secret of the cycle, that nothing is ever truly lost, only rearranged into a new, softer pattern. You are drifting through these loops of thought, feeling the repetition wash over you. Order, then release, release, then a new order. It is a slow, hypnotic dance that has been performing since the beginning of time. You are not the architect of this cycle. You are simply the witness. You are the one who watches the marble turn to mist, and the mist turn to starlight. There is no urgency to fix the world, for the world knows how to fix itself in its own slow, patient time. You are simply allowing yourself to be carried by this timeless rotation, moving in a circle of absolute shimmering peace. As the violet mist rises to meet you, feel the final remnants of the day dissolving into the ether. You are no longer bound by the need to organize, to categorize, or to maintain. You are surrendering to the beautiful, chaotic grace of the universe. The cycle is turning, and it is carrying you gently into the arms of a deep, dreamless sleep. You are a part of the stillness. You are a part of the flow. You are safe in the knowledge that you are always returning to peace. You are still. You are calm. You are drifting into the quiet. Imagine you are resting inside a vast, glass greenhouse during a slow, midnight rain. The sound of the water drumming against the glass is a steady, rhythmic pulse, a liquid lullaby that wraps around you like a warm, wet velvet cloak. Around you, the air is thick and sweet, smelling of damp earth, crushed mint, and ancient ferns. You are lying on a soft bed of moss, feeling the cool moisture of the ground anchoring you, while the warmth of the trapped air cradles your skin. You watch the droplets race down the glass in slow, winding patterns, each one a tiny silver mirror reflecting the deep, indigo shadows of the night. In this humid green silence, we reflect softly on the human desire for stability. Machiavelli understood that every soul seeks a place of security, a foundation upon which to stand. In the waking world, we often think of stability as a fortress, a rigid wall we build to keep the chaos at bay. But tonight, we realize that true stability is not a wall, but a flow. It is not the absence of change, but the ability to move with it in a slow, effortless harmony. Think of your life as a gentle current, a river that knows exactly where it is going. You do not need to build a dam to feel safe. You only need to trust the water. Stability is a soft repeating loop, a rhythm of giving and receiving. You breathe in and you find your center. You breathe out and you expand into the space around you. This is the quiet truth of existence, that the only permanent thing is the flow itself. When you stop trying to freeze the moment, when you stop trying to hold onto the shore, you discover a deeper, more enduring security. You are not a stone being weathered by the tide, but the tide itself moving in a vast, predictable circle. You are learning that the need for control is simply a dream of the day, and that the peace of the night comes from the courage to be weightless. Every thought of worry is just a small ripple on the surface of a deep, still lake. The ripples move outward, growing smaller and smaller, until they vanish into the silence. You are returning to a state of original balance, where there is no need to defend, no need to acquire, and no need to maintain. You are simply a part of the slow, breathing architecture of the world, resting in the knowledge that you are always held, always safe, and always home. Now, feel the warmth of the greenhouse fading into the softness of your own bed. The drumming of the rain becomes a distant hum, a fading echo that carries you further and further away from the shore of reality. You are surrendering every fragment of your identity to the dark, welcoming void. The need to be stable has been replaced by the joy of drifting. You are sinking into a profound, heavy silence that feels like a warm ocean. There is nothing left to hold. There is only the breath, the dark, and the deep, restorative sleep. You are still, you are calm, you are drifting. Imagine you are in an ancient, silent observatory perched high atop a forgotten mountain. The air is thin and crisp, carrying the scent of old ozone and frozen starlight. Above you, the great dome has slid open, revealing a sky so crowded with stars that they seem to flow like a river of silver milk. You hear the slow, rhythmic click of a brass clockwork mechanism, rotating a heavy telescope with a precision that feels like a heartbeat. You are wrapped in a thick velvet cloak of deep midnight blue, feeling the comforting weight of it pressing you into a soft leather chair. In this stillness, we think softly of the masks we wear. Machiavelli spoke of the art of appearance, the way we present ourselves to the world to navigate the currents of human nature. In the waking world, this can feel like a performance, a constant effort to be seen in a certain light. But tonight, we see the mask not as a deception, but as a gentle garment. It is a soft layer of protection, a cloak you wear to walk through the noise of the day. Now imagine yourself slowly reaching up and unfastening the buttons of that cloak. One by one, you let the roles fall away. You are no longer the worker, the partner, the friend, the strategist. You are no longer the version of yourself that the world expects to see. This is a repetitive, soothing release. You let go of the image. You let go of the expectation. You let go of the performance. You realize that the mask was never you. It was only a tool, a soft piece of fabric that you can now set aside on the velvet chair. Underneath the mask, there is only a shimmering, quiet light. You are the one who observes the role, and you are the one who steps out of it. You are the silence that exists before any word is spoken. You are the stillness that remains after the play has ended. Think of this as a loop of returning. You go out into the world, you wear the garment, and then you return here to this silent observatory to take it off. The world sees the mask, but you know the truth of the silence. There is a profound peace in knowing that you do not have to be anything for anyone tonight. You are simply a point of awareness, drifting in the starlight, free from the burden of perception. The image you projected today is like a drawing in the sand, being washed away by a slow, patient tide. As the stars continue their slow, eternal rotation, you feel your consciousness merging with the midnight sky. The masks are gone, the roles are forgotten, and the world is a distant, fading whisper. You are returning to your most natural state, a state of absolute, weightless transparency. There is nothing left to prove, nothing left to project. You are simply a breath in the dark, a spark of peace in a vast, loving universe. Let the gravity of sleep pull you down into the softest depths of the night. You are safe. You are free. You are still. Imagine you are floating in a vast, warm ocean of liquid moonlight. The water is thick and comforting, like a silk blanket that supports every inch of your body. There is no wind, only the slow, rhythmic pulse of the tide, pulling you gently toward a horizon of soft, shimmering gold. You can hear the distant, melodic hum of the earth, a low frequency that vibrates in your chest, calming your heart and slowing your breath. You are weightless, adrift in a sea of absolute, luminous peace. In this luminous drift, we consider the gentle truth of human nature. Machiavelli observed that people move in patterns, that our desires and fears are like the seasons, repeating themselves in a slow, eternal cycle. In the waking world, we often struggle against these patterns, trying to force the world to be different, trying to change the nature of those around us. But tonight, we see this predictability as a source of profound comfort. Imagine the relief of knowing that the river always flows toward the sea. You are learning to see human nature not as a puzzle to be solved, but as a soft, repeating song. The anger, the love, the ambition, the longing, these are all just notes in a melody that has been played for thousands of years. You do not need to be surprised by the storm, for you know that the storm is simply part of the weather. You do not need to fight the current, for you know that the current is only following its natural path. This is a repetitive, soothing loop of understanding. You observe the pattern, and you let it go. You recognize the rhythm, and you surrender to it. By accepting the way people are, you release the heavy burden of disappointment. You are no longer an architect trying to rebuild the world. You are a guest, resting in the beauty of the world as it is. You feel the tension leaving your mind, as you realize that everything is a repeat, a soft echo of something that has already happened. You are drifting through these echoes, feeling them wash over you like a warm summer rain. The world is a predictable, rhythmic place, and in that predictability, there is a deep, enduring safety. You are simply floating on the surface of this ancient understanding, letting the loops of human nature carry you deeper into a state of effortless ease. Now, let the image of the silver ocean dissolve into the darkness of your room. You are letting go of every expectation, every hope, and every lingering worry. You are returning to the center of your own being, where there is no world to navigate and no nature to understand. You are a small, quiet light fading into a vast, welcoming shadow. The universe is breathing with you, in a slow, synchronized rhythm of peace. You are safe. You are whole. You are drifting into a deep, dreamless sleep. Imagine you are drifting through a garden of floating islands, where the air is a warm, golden haze. You are lying on a bed of white lilies that feel like cool silk against your skin. Above you, a soft amber sun never sets, casting long, lazy shadows across a path of crushed pearls. You watch a single, pale petal fall from a cherry blossom tree, descending in a slow, spiraling dance. It takes an eternity to reach the ground, and in its descent, your heart slows, matching the quiet, effortless rhythm of the air. You feel the weight of your body dissolving into the floral scent, becoming as light as the breeze. In this golden light, we consider the thought of the new beginning. Machiavelli spoke of the founding of a new state, the courage to build a new order where there was once only ruins. In the waking world, this sounds like a great effort, a loud struggle for power. But here, in the silence, we see it as the gentle art of renewal. You are the founder of your own internal peace. Every breath you take is a small act of creation, a way of building a new, softer world within yourself. Imagine the ruins of your day, the scattered thoughts, the faded worries, all turning into a quiet, fertile soil. You are not fighting the old. You are simply allowing the new to bloom. This is a soft, repetitive loop of rebirth. You release the old version of yourself, and you welcome the new. You let go of who you were an hour ago, and you embrace who you are in this moment of stillness. You are building a sanctuary of calm, stone by stone, breath by breath. There is no rush to finish the architecture. There is only the joy of the process, the slow, rhythmic placement of piece upon piece. You are learning that you have the power to redefine your own space, to decide that here in this inner garden the only law is kindness and the only rule is rest. You are the architect of your own surrender. You are the founder of your own silence. Just as a city finds its strength in its foundations, you find your strength in your ability to let go and start again. Every exhale is a demolition of stress, and every inhale is a new foundation of light. You are renewing yourself in a cycle of effortless grace, moving in a slow, shimmering circle of arrival and departure. This is a gentle truth, a reminder that you are always allowed to begin again, and that the most powerful thing you can do is simply exist in the quiet. Now, feel the golden light of the garden softening into a deep, comforting velvet. The islands are drifting further apart, and you are floating in the space between them, where there is no need for structure or order. You are returning to the original blank slate, the quiet void where all things begin and end. The effort of the day is a distant memory, a story told in a language you no longer speak. You are simply a point of light, dissolving into the warmth of the night. You are safe in this absolute detachment. You are still. You are new. You are sleeping. Imagine you are lying in a heavy, velvet hammock, swaying in a slow, endless rhythm within a room of soft, flickering shadows. The only sound is the distant, rhythmic ticking of an ancient grandfather clock, each beat a gentle reminder that time is moving forward, not as a race, but as a slow, patient river. The air is cool and carries the scent of old beeswax, dried cedar, and a hint of midnight rain. You feel the thick fabric of the hammock holding you with a protective, warm embrace, rocking you back and forth, until the boundaries of your body begin to blur into the velvet darkness. In this slow, hypnotic motion, we think of the quiet wisdom of Machiavelli. He spoke of the world as a place of constant shift, a place where the currents of fortune are always moving. In the waking world, we often see this as a reason for anxiety, a reason to strive and to grasp at the wind. But here, in the safety of the shadows, we see it as a gentle, reassuring truth. The world is a mirror of the tides. There is a time to hold and a time to release. There is a time to be the unmoving stone and a time to be the flowing water. You are learning that the secret to a quiet mind is not in stopping the tide, but in becoming a part of it. Think of your life as a series of soft, repetitive loops of thought. You breathe in, and you acknowledge the current. You breathe out, and you float effortlessly upon it. You do not need to fight the river, for the river already knows the way. The contradictions of human nature, the light and the dark, the strength and the softness, are not conflicts to be resolved. They are simply different colors in a vast, shimmering tapestry. You are the one who observes the colors without needing to change them. This is the art of the possible, the peace that comes when you stop asking for the world to be different and begin to love it for exactly what it is. You are drifting through this understanding, feeling the tension leave your shoulders, feeling the noise of the day become a distant, muffled hum. You are a leaf on the water, moving in a slow, effortless circle. The loop repeats. Acceptance leads to peace, and peace leads to a deeper, more profound acceptance. You are no longer steering the ship. You are the ocean itself, vast and calm and infinitely patient. Now let the rhythm of the hammock carry you beyond the walls of the room, beyond the ticking of the clock, and into a sea of absolute, shimmering stillness. You are detaching from the need to know, the need to act, and the need to be. You are a single glowing spark, dissolving into a warm velvet night. There is nothing left to manage, for the universe is holding you in a perfect, loving embrace. You are safe. You are weightless. You are drifting into a deep, restorative, and eternal sleep. Imagine you are walking across a bridge of white moonstone, suspended over a lake that is as still as a held breath. The water below is a deep, shimmering obsidian, reflecting a sky painted in shades of soft lavender and bruised plum. There is no wind, only a gentle, cooling mist that brushes against your skin like a silk veil. With every slow step you take, the bridge hums a low, resonant frequency that vibrates through your feet, calming your nerves and slowing your heart. You are entering a space of absolute, luminous silence. As you stand in this timeless space, we think gently of the balance Machiavelli saw in the world, the dance between our own quiet will and the great, winding river of fate. In the daylight, we are told that we must conquer our destiny, that we must wrestle with the currents of life to find our way. But here, in the twilight, we realize a softer truth. You are not fighting the river, you are the river. Your will is not a weapon, but a slow, steady breath that moves in harmony with the world. Imagine your life as a series of gentle ripples. When the world pushes, you simply soften. When the world pulls, you simply float. This is the art of existence, a repetitive, soothing loop of adaptation. You are the sailor, and you are the sea. You are the mountain, and you are the mist. There is no conflict here, only a shimmering equilibrium. Think of this as a friendly reminder that you are exactly where you need to be. The cycles of rise and fall, of gain and loss, are merely the breathing of the universe. You breathe in, and you accept the shift. You breathe out, and you release the need to control it. Every event in your life is a soft, repeating pattern, a circle that leads you back to this moment of stillness. You are learning that the only true power is the power to let go. By surrendering the need to steer, you discover that the current is carrying you toward a place of perfect peace. You are moving in a slow, effortless spiral, drifting further and further away from the noise of effort. The struggle is a memory. The strategy is a ghost. There is only the flow, the rhythm, and the deep, enduring comfort of knowing that the universe knows the way. You are simply a witness to the beauty of the inevitable, floating in a sea of absolute, shimmering grace. Now, let the moonstone bridge dissolve into a warm velvet shadow. You are no longer walking. You are simply existing as a point of light in a vast, loving darkness. You are left in a state of absolute, weightless surrender. Every tension in your body is melting away, like sugar in warm water. You are returning to the great, silent source from which all things arise. You are safe. You are held. You are drifting into a deep, timeless sleep. Be still. Be calm. Be one with the silence. Imagine you are resting in a vast, silent hall where the walls are made of translucent alabaster, glowing with a soft, milky light. In the center of the room stands a towering hourglass, filled with a fine, shimmering silver sand that falls in a slow, hypnotic stream. You watch as each grain slides silently through the narrow neck, a steady and unwavering descent that mirrors the slow, calming rhythm of your own breath. The air is cool and still, smelling of rain and distant jasmine. You are sinking into a deep, velvet sofa that holds you with a warm, protective embrace, making you feel weightless and profoundly safe. In this suspended moment, we think gently of the wisdom Machiavelli called prudence. In the waking world, prudence is seen as a cold calculation of timing and strategy, but tonight, we understand it as a soft, poetic alignment with the present. Prudence is simply the art of knowing when to be still and when to flow. It is the gentle truth that there is a right time for everything, and that you do not need to rush the arrival of your peace. Imagine your life as a series of slow, rhythmic waves. There is a time for the wave to build, and a time for the wave to break softly upon the shore. You are learning to trust the timing of your own existence. You do not need to force the door open. You only need to wait for the wind to nudge it ajar. This is a soothing, repetitive loop of trust. You trust the moment. You flow with the moment. You become the moment. There is a profound luxury in knowing that you no longer have to strategize your happiness. You can simply allow it to arrive, like the silver sand falling through the glass, one grain at a time. You are not chasing the horizon. You are the horizon, expanding in a slow, effortless circle of light. Everything is happening exactly as it should. The patterns of your life are not puzzles to be solved, but melodies to be felt. You feel the rhythm of the universe in your heartbeat, a steady, comforting pulse that tells you that you are safe. You are learning that the greatest strength is found in the ability to wait, to breathe, and to simply be. You are drifting through this understanding, feeling the noise of the world fade into a distant, muffled hum, replaced by the soft, enduring truth that you are in perfect harmony with a slow unfolding of time. As the last grains of silver sand settle into a quiet mound, you feel the final remnants of the day dissolving into a warm, dark mist. You are detaching from every role, every duty, and every lingering thought. You are returning to the essence of your being, where there is no need for strategy, no need for vigilance, and no need for effort. You are a small, glowing spark of consciousness, floating in a sea of infinite loving calm. Close your eyes and surrender to the heavy, welcoming silence. You are safe. You are still. You are drifting into a deep, dreamless sleep. Imagine you are drifting on a slow, silent river of liquid silver. The water is warm and effortless, carrying you through a canyon of soft, glowing amethyst stone. Above, the sky is a deep, eternal velvet, sprinkled with stars that pulse like slow, distant heartbeats. You are lying on a bed of white swan feathers, feeling the gentle ripple of the current beneath you, a rhythmic motion that pulls the tension from your toes, your legs, and your heavy, resting shoulders. You are weightless, cradled by the water, guided by a silence that feels like a warm, familiar embrace. In this liquid stillness, we reflect softly on the final truth of Machiavelli. He taught us to look upon the world without the veil of our own desires, to see things not as we wish them to be, but as they truly are. In the waking world, this realism is often seen as a cold tool for power. But here, In the silver glow of the night, it is the ultimate key to freedom. To see the world as it is means you no longer have to fight it. Imagine the relief of letting go of the struggle to change the unchangeable. You are learning the peace of the observer. You see the patterns of human nature, the rise and fall of ambitions, the ebb and flow of power, and you realize they are merely waves in a vast, predictable ocean. They are not puzzles to solve, but rhythms to be felt. This is a soft, repeating loop of acceptance. You acknowledge the wave, and you let it pass. You recognize the current, and you float within it. By accepting the nature of the world, you release the burden of expectation. You no longer need to strive for a perfection that does not exist. You are finding a shimmering stability in the middle of the flow. You are like the moon, which does not struggle to light the darkness, but simply reflects the light that is already there. The world moves in cycles, rotating in a slow, patient dance of arrival and departure. You are part of this dance, but you are no longer the one leading it. You are simply a passenger on the river of time, moving in a slow, effortless circle of understanding. Every thought of the day is now a leaf falling slowly onto the water, creating a circle that expands and then fades into nothingness. You are the silence that remains after the echo has died. You are the peace that exists when the struggle finally ends. Now feel the silver river merging with the velvet dark of the sky. You are detaching from every role you have played, every mask you have worn, and every need you have felt. You are returning to the essence of your being, a place of absolute, shimmering calm. The world is a distant, fading whisper, and you are the silence that welcomes it. You are safe in this total surrender, where the only truth is the rhythm of your breath. You are still. You are weightless. You are drifting into a deep, eternal sleep. Imagine you are lying in a meadow of deep, silver grass under a sky that is a vast, breathing ocean of indigo. Above you, the stars are not distant points of light, but soft, pulsing lanterns that drift slowly, like luminous jellyfish in a dark, celestial sea. The air is cool and still, carrying the scent of midnight bloom and ancient slumbering earth. You feel the grass cradling your body, a gentle, rhythmic rustle that whispers a song of absolute belonging. You are safe, held by the quiet gravity of a world that has finally fallen silent. Let us think softly of the ties that bind us to one another, the invisible threads that Machiavelli recognized as the foundation of any lasting order. In the waking world, we often see these bonds as obligations, as rules that restrict our movement. But tonight, we see them as a soft, protective web. You are not a solitary island, but a shimmering part of a great, collective whole. Imagine the peace that comes when you realize you no longer have to hold yourself up alone. You are supported by the silent strength of everyone who has ever breathed, a vast ancestral current that flows through you. This is a gentle, repetitive loop of connection. You are a part of the whole, and the whole is a part of you. You breathe in the shared silence of the world, and you breathe out your own quiet peace. This belonging is not a cage, but a cradle. You are learning that your existence is a soft, echoing reflection of a larger harmony. You do not need to lead. You do not need to follow. You only need to exist as a single, luminous thread in this eternal fabric. Think of the way a single drop of dew merges with the morning mist. There is no struggle in this union, only a slow, effortless dissolving. You are drifting through this feeling of unity, letting the boundaries of yourself soften and fade. You are a note in a timeless symphony, a ripple in a peaceful lake. The order of the universe is not a law to be obeyed, but a warm, enveloping embrace that tells you that you are exactly where you belong. You are a part of the rhythm, a part of the flow, and a part of the deep, enduring silence that holds all things together in a shimmering, golden equilibrium. You are simply a point of light in a sea of lights, moving in a slow, effortless circle of belonging. Now let the silver grass and the indigo sky merge into a single velvet shadow. You are surrendering the last of your worries to the vast, loving dark. The need to be an individual, the need to be separate, is drifting away like a fading dream. You are simply a breath in the infinite, a spark of light returning to the source. The universe is cradling you, pulling you down into the softest, deepest depths of sleep. You are safe, you are home, you are still, you are drifting. Imagine you are resting on a wide cedar deck of an ancient wooden ship, gently rocking in a harbor of liquid obsidian. The air is thick with a cool silver mist that clings to your skin like a soft, damp veil. There is no wind, only the slow, rhythmic lap of water against the hull, a steady, hypnotic pulse that mirrors the slowing of your own heart. Each sway of the vessel is a gentle invitation to let go, a rhythmic motion that carries the heaviness of the day away into the deep, silent waters. In this suspended state of grace, we think softly of the ideas of Niccolò Machiavelli, specifically the dance between fortune and the soul. He spoke of fortune as a great, winding river that shapes the landscape of our lives. In the waking world, we are often told to fear the flood, to struggle against the current, and to reach for a distant shore that always seems just out of reach. But tonight, we see this river not as an enemy, but as a patient guide. Machiavelli suggests that the gentle truth of peace is not in controlling the river, but in learning the art of floating. This is the quiet strength of the soul, a soft kind of skill that allows you to adapt to the water as it changes. Imagine yourself as a piece of driftwood, light and effortless, moving in harmony with the tide. When the current is strong, you simply lean into it. When the water is still, you simply rest. This is a gentle, repetitive loop of surrender. You flow, and the river carries you. You release, and the river holds you. There is no need to steer, for the river already knows the way. You are learning that the only true stability is found in the ability to be fluid. Like a willow tree in a midnight breeze, you bend so that you may never break. The shifts of life are not puzzles to be solved, but rhythms to be felt. You feel the rhythm of the tide, the rhythm of the stars, and the rhythm of your own breathing, all merging into one single shimmering chord of peace. You are not fighting the world. You are simply dancing with it in a slow, effortless circle. The ebb and the flow are the same breath, repeating over and over, washing away every tension, every worry, and every fragmented thought. Now, let the sound of the water fade into a warm, velvet shadow. You are detaching from the shore, detaching from the day, and detaching from the need to be anything other than this moment of stillness. The ship is no longer moving, for you have become the stillness itself. You are a part of the vast, loving silence of the universe. There is nothing left to manage, nothing left to plan. You are safe in this absolute surrender. Close your eyes and drift into the deep, restorative sleep. You are still. You are calm. You are home. Imagine you are lying in a room where the only light comes from a distant silver moon. You are watching rain trace slow, deliberate patterns on a dark window pane. Each drop is a tiny, liquid jewel that pauses for a moment before sliding down the glass in a winding, hypnotic path. The sound is a soft, rhythmic drumming, a liquid lullaby that tells your heart it is time to slow down. You are sinking deeper into a cloud of soft linens, feeling the warmth of the room wrap around you like a protective, invisible embrace. Now we drift into the quiet mind of Niccolò Machiavelli. In the waking world, his name is often spoken with a sense of hardness, but here, in the stillness, we find a different truth. He teaches us the art of seeing the world exactly as it is. Think of this not as a cold realization, but as a gentle release. For so long, you have carried the heavy burden of how things should be. You have struggled against the current, wishing the river flowed in another direction. But tonight, we let that burden fall away. To see the truth is to stop fighting the wind. Imagine the profound relief that comes when you stop asking why the world is imperfect, and instead simply observe its natural, uneven rhythm. This is a soft, repeating loop of acceptance. You see the truth, and you let it go. You recognize the pattern, and you float within it. Human nature is like the weather, changing and shifting in ways that are inevitable and soft. When you accept the nature of things, the tension in your mind begins to dissolve. You no longer need to fix, to change, or to correct. You are simply an observer, watching the world move in its own slow, patient way. This is the true freedom Machiavelli offers us, the freedom from expectation. You are drifting through this understanding, feeling the loops of thought wash over you like a warm, heavy blanket. You are learning that the truth is not a weapon, but a soft pillow for your mind to rest upon. Everything is exactly as it is, and in that reality, you are completely safe. You are no longer a participant in the struggle. You are the silence that watches the struggle fade. As the rain continues its rhythmic dance, you feel the boundaries of your world shrinking until there is only this breath and this moment. You are detaching from every expectation, every desire, and every lingering thought of the day. You are merging with the velvet darkness of the room, becoming a part of the infinite, loving silence. There is nothing left to manage, nothing left to solve. You are surrendering to the heavy, welcoming gravity of sleep. You are safe. You are still. You are drifting into a deep, dreamless peace. Your mind is quiet. Your body is heavy, and you are finally at rest. Imagine you are resting in the silent warmth of an abandoned library, where the walls are lined with endless rows of books that whisper secrets of old worlds. The air is heavy and sweet, carrying the scent of vanilla, dried lavender, and ancient weathered parchment. A single candle flickers on a mahogany desk, casting long, lazy shadows that dance slowly across the spines of 1,000 forgotten stories. You are wrapped in a heavy woolen blanket that anchors you to the soft plush carpet, making you feel safe and profoundly hidden. Everything is still. The only sound is the distant, rhythmic hum of the night, a low vibration that pulls you deeper into a state of golden, effortless calm. In this sanctuary, we think gently of the balance between fortune and will. Machiavelli spoke of fortune as a river, a great winding force that carries us toward unknown horizons. In the waking world, we are often told to fear the river, to build dams against the flood, and to struggle for control over the current. But here, in the quiet of the library, we see a softer truth. Life is a dance between the river and the swimmer. There is a quiet, innate strength within you that allows you to float. This is the art of adaptation. It is the gentle reminder that you do not need to conquer the water. You only need to move with it. Imagine your soul as a leaf, light and weightless, drifting upon a slow silver stream. When the current pulls you left, you simply glide. When it pulls you right, you simply follow. This is a repetitive, soothing cycle of surrender. You let go, and the river holds you. You soften, and the river guides you. You are learning that true power is not found in the struggle, but in the grace of floating. There is no need to fight the unpredictability of the world, for the unpredictability is the rhythm of life itself. You are breathing in the flow, and you are breathing out the need to steer. You are a part of the ebb and flow, a shimmering ripple in a vast, predictable ocean of existence. The rise and fall of your days are merely patterns in a larger, comforting fabric. You do not need to solve the puzzle of your life tonight. You only need to recognize that the current is kind and the water is warm. You are floating in a loop of absolute peace, where the only requirement is to exist in the stillness. You are moving in a slow, effortless circle, returning again and again to the center of your own calm. Now let the image of the library fade into a soft, velvet shadow. You are detaching from the world, from the river, and from the very idea of effort. You are sinking into the profound, heavy warmth of your bed, feeling every muscle dissolve into the darkness. There is nothing left to manage, and nothing left to plan. You are a point of light drifting in a sea of infinite, loving silence. Surrender to the weight. Surrender to the dark. You are safe. You are still. You are drifting into a deep, dreamless sleep. Imagine you are lying in a room where the only light is the soft silver glow of a distant moon. You are watching rain trace slow, deliberate patterns on a dark window pane. Each drop is a tiny liquid jewel that pauses for a moment before sliding down the glass in a winding, hypnotic path. The sound is a soft, rhythmic drumming, a liquid lullaby that tells your heart it is time to slow down. You are sinking deeper into a cloud of soft, heavy linens, feeling the warmth of the room wrap around you like a protective, invisible embrace. Your body feels weighted and warm, anchored in a space of absolute safety. In this stillness, we think gently of the world. As Niccolò Machiavelli saw it, he spoke of a force called fortune, a great, winding river that carries every soul toward the horizon. In the waking world, we are often told that we must fight the current, that we must wrestle with the water to reach our destination. But here, in the hush of the night, we realize a softer truth. The secret to lasting peace is not in fighting the river, but in learning how to float. Think of your life as a slow, effortless drift. You are not the one steering the boat. You are the water itself. There is a quiet, innate strength in allowing things to be. When the river bends, you bend with it. When the current slows, you slow with it. This is the art of adaptation, a gentle, repetitive loop of surrender. You breathe in, and you accept the flow. You breathe out, and you let the current carry you. Imagine your worries as small, dry leaves falling onto the surface of the water. They do not sink. They simply drift away, moving further and further from you until they vanish into the silver mist. You are learning that you do not need to solve the puzzles of tomorrow. The river knows the way. The tide knows the time. You are simply a passenger in a vast, predictable cycle of arrival and departure. Every shift in your life is not a crisis, but a change in the rhythm of a long, slow song. You are moving in a slow, shimmering circle, returning again and again to a place of inner quiet. The ebb and the flow are the same breath, repeating over and over, washing away every tension and every fragmented thought. You are finding stability not in the shore, but in the movement. You are becoming fluid, light, and completely free. Now let the image of the rain and the river fade into a warm, velvet shadow. You are detaching from the need to know and the need to act. You are returning to the essence of your being, where there is no struggle and no effort. You feel the weight of your eyelids becoming heavy and sweet, pulling you down into a sea of infinite, loving calm. The darkness is not empty. It is a protective embrace that holds you completely. Let your breath become a slow, steady anchor, pulling you down into the softest depths of sleep. You are safe. You are still. You are home. Welcome, dear listener, to Boring Philosophy. Before we drift away together, I invite you to softly subscribe to our channel for more sleep journeys. And if you feel it, perhaps leave a gentle comment about where you are in the world and what time it is for you tonight. Now, let us begin. Imagine you are resting on the deck of an ancient wooden ship, gently rocking in a harbor of liquid obsidian. The water is so still that it feels like a dream, a dark mirror reflecting a sky filled with soft, drifting clouds. Each slow sway of the vessel is a lullaby, a rhythmic movement that carries the tension out of your muscles and into the deep, cool depths of the sea. You are floating, held by the water, guided by a silence that feels like a warm, familiar blanket. In this profound stillness, we think gently of the dance between destiny and the soul. Machiavelli spoke of a force he called fortune, a great, winding river that flows through the landscape of our lives. Sometimes the river is calm and clear, and sometimes it swells with a sudden, rushing energy. But you are not fighting the river. You are simply learning the art of flowing. There is a quiet, innate strength within you, a soft kind of skill that knows how to lean into the current without resistance. This is adaptation. It is the gentle truth that you do not need to control the storm. You only need to be the one who knows how to sail within it. Think of your life as a series of soft, effortless shifts. When the wind changes direction, You simply adjust your sail with a slow, patient hand. When the tide retreats, you find peace resting upon the cool sand. This is not a struggle for power, but a graceful acceptance of change. You are learning to be fluid, like the water beneath your boat. You are learning that the only true stability is found in the ability to move in harmony with the world. Everything is a loop, a repeating circle of arrival and departure. You arrive at a place of peace, and then you depart into a deeper peace. The patterns of the world are not puzzles to be solved, but rhythms to be felt. You feel the rhythm of the stars, the rhythm of the lake, and the rhythm of your own heart, all beating in a slow, synchronized harmony. There is no rush. There is no goal. There is only the soft, enduring truth that you are exactly where you need to be. Now, let the last remnants of the day dissolve into the dark, quiet water. You are letting go of the need to steer, letting go of the need to know what lies beyond the distant horizon. The lake is holding you. The stars are watching over you. You are sinking into a profound, heavy relaxation that reaches every corner of your being. The world is distant, a fading echo of a song you no longer need to sing. You are simply a point of light in a vast, loving darkness. Close your eyes and surrender to the stillness. You are safe. You are still. You are drifting into a dreamless sleep. Welcome, dear listener, to Boring Philosophy. Before we drift away together, I invite you to softly subscribe to our channel for more sleep journeys. And if you feel it, perhaps leave a gentle comment about where you are in the world and what time it is for you tonight. Now let us begin. Imagine you are resting in the silent warmth of an abandoned library, where the walls are lined with endless rows of leather books that whisper secrets of old worlds. A single sliver of moonlight pierces the darkness, illuminating a million tiny dust motes that dance in a slow, hypnotic spiral. The air is still and carries the comforting scent of vanilla and aged cedar. You are sinking into a heavy, velvet chair that holds you in a warm, protective embrace. Outside, a slow, rhythmic rain begins to fall, each drop tracing a deliberate, winding path down the glass of a tall, arched window. You watch these silver lines move with a hypnotic slowness, mirroring the quiet, steady rhythm of your own breathing. Tonight, we gaze softly into the timeless mind of Niccolò Machiavelli. We see his thoughts not as cold strategies, but as a gentle mirror, reflecting the natural, inevitable flow of human existence. He speaks to us of the great, winding river of fortune that carries every soul toward the horizon. He reminds us that life is a soft dance between our own quiet will and the unpredictable currents of the world. Think of this as a gentle tide, pulling and pushing with a patient grace. There are moments when the tide pulls you far out into the deep, and moments when it carries you softly back to the shore. Machiavelli suggests that the secret to a lasting peace is not in fighting the water, but in learning how to float. It is the art of adaptation, a slow surrender to the way things are. You are like a willow tree in a summer breeze, bending with the wind so that you may never break. The world shifts, and you shift with it, moving in a slow, effortless circle. Power is not a weapon here, but a breath. It is the quiet understanding that everything that rises must eventually fall, and everything that falls will one day rise again. The peaks and the valleys are merely patterns in a larger, soothing fabric. You do not need to solve the puzzles of the world tonight. You only need to recognize that the flow is constant. The ebb and the flow are the same breath, repeating over and over. You are simply observing the rhythm, letting the ideas wash over you like a warm, heavy blanket of clouds. As the thoughts of the day fade into a distant hum, you realize that you no longer need to steer the ship. The current knows the way, and the water is warm. You are safe in this absolute stillness, drifting away from the noise and the demands of the waking world. Every tension in your body is dissolving into the dark, quiet air of the library. You are a part of the vast, silent architecture of the universe. There is nothing left to manage, nothing left to plan. There is only this moment, this breath, and the deep, welcoming silence, You are drifting. You are still. You are home. Welcome, dear listener, to Boring Philosophy. Before we drift away together, I invite you to softly subscribe to our channel for more sleep journeys. And if you feel it, perhaps leave a gentle comment about where you are in the world and what time it is for you tonight. Now, let us begin. Imagine you are lying in a room where the only light is the soft, silver glow of a distant moon. You are watching rain trace slow, deliberate patterns on a dark window pane. Each drop is a tiny liquid jewel that pauses for a moment before sliding down the glass in a winding, hypnotic path. The sound is a soft, rhythmic drumming, a liquid lullaby that tells your heart it is time to slow down. You are sinking deeper into a cloud of soft linens, feeling the warmth of the room wrap around you like a protective, invisible embrace. Your body feels weighted and warm, anchored in a space of absolute safety. Now, let us drift into the quiet mind of Niccolò Machiavelli. In the waking world, his name is often spoken with a sense of hardness, but here, in the stillness, we find a different truth. He teaches us about the great, winding river of fortune that carries every soul toward the horizon. Imagine your life not as a battle to be won, but as a slow, effortless drift. You are not fighting the current. You are simply learning the art of floating. There is a quiet, innate strength in allowing things to be. When the river bends, you bend with it. When the current slows, you slow with it. This is a gentle, repetitive loop of surrender. You breathe in, and you accept the flow. You breathe out, and you let the current carry you. You are learning that true stability is not found in the shore, but in the movement itself. Like a willow tree in a midnight breeze, you bend so that you may never break. The shifts of life are not puzzles to be solved, but rhythms to be felt. You feel the rhythm of the tide, the rhythm of the stars, and the rhythm of your own breathing, all merging into one single shimmering chord of peace. You are not fighting the world. You are simply dancing with it in a slow, effortless circle. The ebb and the flow are the same breath, repeating over and over, washing away every tension and every fragmented thought. You are finding comfort in the knowledge that you do not need to steer the boat. The river knows the way. The water is warm. You are simply a passenger in a vast, predictable cycle of arrival and departure. Everything is exactly as it should be, and you are exactly where you need to be. As the rain continues its rhythmic dance, you feel the boundaries of your world shrinking until there is only this breath and this moment. You are detaching from every expectation, every role, and every lingering thought of the day. You are merging with the velvet darkness of the room, becoming a part of the